Marvel's Midnight Suns is almost perfect, and here's why. Marvel's Midnight Suns was a game that came out of nowhere and rocked my shit so hard. It's now in my top 5 favorite superhero games of all time. I haven't played many strategy games, so I was scared I wasn't going to be able to commit to it. I'm glad that didn't happen though. I'm glad I played this game, and no matter the flaws I give in this review, I highly recommend any superhero fan to play this game. This game has a certain charm to it, and the heart put into this game shows in every aspect, especially the characters. In my reviews, I go over a brief summary of the game, I discuss the flow and quality of the story, the gameplay, and the polish. Let's begin. The evil powerhouse known as Hydra use a blend of dark magic and science to resurrect Lilith, the mother of demons, from the dead. She's been in a deep slumber for centuries and very quickly continues her work of fulfilling a prophecy and summoning Chthon, her master. The Avengers seek the help of the Midnight Suns, the paranormal Avengers is what I like to call them, to help fight back against the literal hell that is appearing on Earth. Luckily, the Midnight Suns have a secret weapon on their side. They have the Hunter, Lilith's child. He defeated her in the past and is also revived from a deep slumber and must stop Lilith one final time before the prophecy is fulfilled and the world is lost as we know it. If I had to narrow the story down to one word, it would be about family. It was addicting for not only the die-hard comic book nerd, but the average and beginner fan as well. When I found the time to play, I would be sucked in until I realized it's been hours and I probably should go to bed before my kids woke up. Which was shortly after. It was bad times, but I couldn't help it. The story flowed perfectly. Midnight Suns was the first long campaign I've played in a long time. It took me a little over 40 hours, and I was completely okay with that. It didn't feel long, the pacing felt exactly how it should. It had its lighthearted comedic moments that you would expect in a Marvel comic book story, but it doesn't shy away from the dark side. It had so many heartfelt moments that almost made me shed a tear, and when I say it didn't shy away from the dark side, I mean it. It wasn't astronomically dark like some games. This is a superhero game after all, but I was pleased to experience them all the same. Especially the ending. My god, the ending was absolutely epic. The protagonist of the game was a little lacking in the beginning due to the fact that it's a blank slate of a character, but I even grew to love he or she as a character as well. You do get to choose between being a male or female, which is always appreciated when playing RPGs. My favorite part of this game was the interactions with the characters. You developed relationships with each of these heroes in the game, and it didn't feel fake. You talked, you hung out, and trained together throughout the whole game. It gave me the time I needed to actually feel something for each of these heroes, and that's a key element in these types of games to succeed. You want to be sucked into the world and feel like you're actually a part of it, and Firaxis Games did a wonderful job achieving that. The gameplay was very addicting. This isn't like your normal strategy game, it's crafted like a card game and it's done very well. Each character has a set of cards to use to your disposal, whether that be for offense or defense, and with each card, you can also upgrade, buff, and add special abilities to use on top of those cards. Seeing the attacks felt brutal, and it was definitely enhanced with the PlayStation 5's haptic feedback in the controller. Each punch flowed through my hands and it felt amazing. The gameplay is where I have a couple of minor flaws though. As amazing as this game is, it does get very, and I mean very, repetitive. And it's not in the fighting gameplay, it's how it uses a day and night cycle. You can only do one mission a day, and then you can either explore the grounds or talk to the fellow heroes. After that, you have to sleep and go to the next day before starting another mission. I cannot tell you how many times I would complete a mission and try to go do another mission and realize I can't do that until the next day. It doesn't seem like much, but it can really throw you off. I'm not used to that type of gameplay, and I understand it's to feel the immersion of what's going on, but it was a little irritating. You wake up, go collect your new cards, upgrade your cards, train with one of your heroes daily, heal them, talk to them, do a mission, and go to sleep, just to wake up and do the exact same thing again. It became dull at times, but don't let that detract what I've said before. I was so focused on the story, I easily pushed through. The game does reward you for everything you do, so yes, it is repetitive, it did get a little dull, but it is vital to do these things to keep up with your team and make them the strongest they can be. Training every day with one of the members buffs them for missions you have to do that day. It's simple why upgrading your cards are important. If you don't upgrade your cards, you won't be as strong. Talking with the team and building relationships even reward you. You have friendship levels, and when you max out with a specific hero, you get a special Midnight Sun challenge for them to unlock their special Midnight Sun ability. And you get to unlock their Midnight Sun suit to use before the end of the game. and these suits are badass. I won't show them all, but I will give you a look at Ghost Rider and his special as an example. This game was smooth most of the time, but depending on the amount of enemies and how wild the abilities you used were, sometimes there would be some frame dips. I used the Hulk special and it bogged down the frames big time. I'm not a frame snob, so it doesn't really bother me, but it did happen quite a bit. I played this on my PlayStation 5, so I'd say if you're on a high-end PC, it wouldn't occur, but I can't guarantee that because I haven't played it on PC. The game did crash one time during a battle, and I'm not entirely sure why it happened. It was a little upsetting, but I loaded back into the game and I was at the exact same spot before it crashed, so luckily everything was okay. Other than those minor things, the game ran very smooth. The combat felt heavy and meaningful, and the cinematics were beautiful, which is all I could ask for in a game. Overall, you could tell the developers were Marvel fans and cared about not only each character, but each character as a working team. It was an ultimate battle against hell, and it was a rewarding experience. They did a fantastic job at making each character feel unique and needed in the team. Yes, you can choose whatever heroes you want to play with, and you can get past the missions just fine, but it's not the smartest way to play. You need to strategize just how important your heroes will be with one another. Will their abilities work well with the others' abilities? You have the freedom to experiment and create the perfect trifecta to go up against the evil that lies ahead. My trifecta that I used most of the time was Hunter, Ghost Rider, and Magic. Their abilities just worked with me in my type of gameplay, and I had no issues with them. Every time I used them, I didn't lose. Marvel's Midnight Suns is a strong and unique game that really shows you how to do a non-formulaic superhero game. I give this game a 9 out of 10, and I highly recommend any superhero fan to play this game. You'll be missing out if you don't. What did you all think about Midnight Suns? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please let me know down in the comments down below. I do like reading the comments and hearing everyone else's opinions. If you haven't already, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It does help me out a bunch. If you want to be like 1,000 times cooler, I'm talking about being able to join the Midnight Suns level of cool. Please ring the bell, that way you're notified for each video that I have. And until next time, take it easy, bubs.